Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Suhey with Suhey Plans, and I create journaling and planning content here on YouTube and other social media platforms including Instagram and TikTok. I am really excited to share this video comparing the Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets with the Makselife Flagship Goal Planner. I have been doing a lot of research on these products, the Power Sheets, which I have been using personally for several years now, and I've watched almost every single Maskelife release video that there was for 2025, so I'm feeling very informed. And I want to take a moment to just compare the two. There aren't a ton of goal planners out there on the market, and so I'm hoping that this video will help folks really decide which planner might be a better fit for them. Some disclaimers before we jump in. I am an affiliate for Cultivate What Matters, so I do have a discount code for this product and things at the Cultivate What Matters shop. But regardless of the fact that I'm an affiliate for Power Sheets and Cultivate What Matters, I will be sharing my honest opinions in this video. Second, I want to share that everything I am sharing some of the just facts and comparing the two, but I will be talking about what my preferences are when I go through those categories. What I've done is put together a little like how-to spreadsheet for me to refer to as I'm going through comparing the two products. We'll get, that's going to be my cheat sheet as I go along this video. I also will say that I haven't actually ever tried the Makselife Flagship Goal Planner. This will be my first year really using it, but I do feel very confident that I know exactly what's inside of this planner. Finally, if there is any value in any of the following that you got from this video, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. All right, so let's jump in. So the first category that we'll be talking about is price. The Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets is $64, although you can get 10% off with an affiliate code. The Makselife Goal Planner is $78, although there are 10% off affiliate codes out there as well. When it comes to shipping and packaging, there was a shorter wait time with slightly over 7 days to arrive, including weekends with the Power Sheets. The Makselife was advertised in my confirmation email as having a 5 to 15 business day processing time. And for me, it arrived in 14 days, including weekends. Both were very well packaged. The Power Sheets had a very pretty vellum. The Makselife products were all well packaged with bubble wrap, and they both came in a sturdy storage box for the planner. The one kind of point I'll give Makselife in this category is that it also came in the most gorgeous shipping box as well. Let me see if I can grab that quickly. All right, so it also shipped in this gorgeous Makselife shipping box, which I thought was a very nice touch and just makes the whole experience that much more exciting. So, for this category, I do like my things to come quickly, but because this is a 2025 planner, it's fine if it doesn't. So in this category, I think Makselife takes the win for me personally. Let's move on to aesthetics and paper. The Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets has a lot of beautiful gold hardware, gold embossing. It's very high quality. Overall, their planners are very feminine, pretty, colorful. They have covers and really nice linens and prints, and they have a wire O binding. The Makselife is more clean, minimal, neutral. It has a silver spiral binding, and there are a wide variety of interchangeable cover designs. This is something that I really like about Makselife for this year is that they have these interchangeable covers, and I can take this off and this can be the new cover design. And I just love how much variety there is with their covers. With the gold Powersheets, there's just one cover and you're sticking with that for the year. But both are very, very beautiful. I just think that the aesthetics are a little bit different. And so it kind of depends on what you prefer. The monthly dividers in the Powersheets are thick cardstock, while the monthly dividers in the Makselife are just a laminated tab. The paper on both of these is 120 GSM, but I did find there to be some differences in the paper. So I'm going to flip to my kind of very brief pen test. Here's my pen test in the Powersheets using the Makselife dot markers. And let's go to that same pen test in the Maskelife Planner. So they both held up very well to fountain pen ink, markers, highlighters, etc. But I did find that the Powersheets paper had just less see-through with the dot markers than the Makselife paper did. So that's kind of an interesting point to know, even though they're both 120. The Powersheets held up to these Makselife dot markers a little better. Right. So that's kind of where I stand on aesthetics and paper. This is another category for me where it's really hard to decide, but I think I'm going to have to go with the Makselife in this category, just because I am more of a clean, minimal, and neutral girly. That's my vibe. So I think I like the options with Makselife better for covers and overall aesthetic. Although I do think this gold is so beautiful. I would love to see Makselife come out with this spiral in gold. I think that'd be amazing. All right, let's move on. As I refer to my handout, the next few categories I want to talk about are really important. They really deal with the meat and potatoes of the planner. The goal preparation is very different in these two planners. In the goal prep in the Powersheets has categories as well as the Makselife. But in my personal opinion, I find that the categories in the Powersheets hit home a little better for me than the categories in the Makselife. And I'll kind of go through what those are. These are the categories for Powersheets. These are the categories for Makselife. There are a lot of categories that overlap. Family and relationships, health and wellness, physical environment, or home and spaces, spiritual and personal growth, work and learning, finances. Some of these are exactly the same. One thing that I don't really quite understand with Makselife is that they have a personal and a spiritual and personal growth. I understand if you're a spiritual person, how this can be its own category, but I'm not necessarily a spiritual person. And so I think that personal growth and personal are the exact same thing. And I'm not sure why I don't think I would have them be two separate categories. For me, every day is personal growth, or every day we should be growing as a person. So to me, I'm not sure why that's two different categories. But again, just my opinion. And then I love that the Powersheets has a pick your own, because I think that's super cool. You can really focus in on something particular that doesn't quite fit into one of these categories, or it allows you to have, several goals in several categories. Last year, for example, my pick my own was marriage, and I wanted to work on my marriage. I wanted to work on family things, but I thought that they were two separate things. So I really like that Powersheets has a pick your own. Another thing that I like with this is kind of my opinion as well, but I do believe that Powersheets feels, more like someone further along in their life and career. Right, because home and spaces, I think like when I was a young person, or when I was a teenager, I didn't have a lot of control over home or spaces, right? But, and so for that reason, I think physical environment could be just a great way to encompass someone who's younger and maybe not further along in their life. And so I do appreciate Makselife for having these broader categories that I think more different kinds of people can associate with. But for me personally, I just think that these are the categories that hit home with me. And what you're seeing is also the color coordinating for each of the planners. Makselife has their own highlighters and dot markers, which I think is really cool. And I prefer the color scheme in the Makselife. I don't know, that's kind of like, I think that's also a little bit subjective, right? And that could depend on the person, but I kind of like this colorway a little bit better than this colorway. But again, just my personal opinion, you might find it to be different. Feel free to take a screenshot of these two things if you're interested in really taking a look at these differences. So then within the categories, within the prep work, which involves taking a look at those categories, the prep work in the Powersheets is there's a lot of engagement. And I've already gotten started in this planner. There's a lot of engagement that's going on in the prep work in your Powersheets. There's a lot of reflection. There's a lot of assessing, and there's a lot of writing going on in the goal. A lot of reflection, a lot of brainstorming that's happening here. And there is some kind of tutorials as well. See if that's it. Okay, yeah. In the Makselife, the goal planning, the goal setting and the prep work, I find it to be a lot more tutorial and how to instead of actually highly engaged and reflection forward. So you get all of these sheets with, there's this one for setting intentions, and there's this for assessment scoring, but the rest is really tutorial and how to, which I think is actually really great, especially for young people or folks who haven't done a lot of goal planning. And then you get the one page for like endless possibilities, and then you jump right into your goals. So the difference here with the prep work, I think that the Powersheets, you're doing a lot more writing, a lot more reflection, a lot more responding to questions. And in the Makselife, you're doing a lot more how-to learning about how to create goals. And I think those could work really well for different kinds of people. One thing I'll say about the Makselife is that you get, if you order within a certain frame of time, you get a 2024 reflections book that could really make up for the fact that you don't have all of that reflection as you do in the goal planner. It's free in the first few days or weeks of the release, but then it is an additional fee. But I do appreciate that Powersheets just has that reflection section in it. The other kind of goal prep work happening in here is in the quarterly assessments. The Makselife does one page of quarterly refresh and where you rescore yourself and then just open notes. The Powersheets quarterly refresh is a lot more involved. Okay, here's that quarterly refresh. You're doing another assessment, you're doing reflection, you're breaking down your goals, you're refreshing your goals, you're breaking down actions for the week ahead, you're doing a routines reset, taking notes, and putting together an ideal schedule for the season. And that's a lot more intensive than the quarterly refreshes that are happening in the Makselife. One thing I will say is that for an additional fee, you can purchase a product called the Quarterly Goal Toolkit, which will kind of serve as what you're seeing in the Powersheets. But that is also an additional fee, and you would need one toolkit, or you could do anywhere from 1 to 4 toolkits for the year. And so that's kind of the biggest differences in the prep. In this category, I believe that the Powersheets takes the cake for prep. I just think they have all the reflection, the quarterly reassessing. I just think that they have a lot of reflection built in to the planner that involves active engagement with your goals and the things that you want. While the Makselife system kind of asks you to pick up some additional items in order to kind of get all of that reflection happening. And you know, this book is gigantic if you haven't noticed. So I'm not necessarily blaming them for not being able to jam it in here as well. So next we're going to talk about actual planning in these two. And this is really where you're going to see the differences especially between the sizes of these two books. The Powersheets really works on a monthly kind of basis. You get a monthly reset, a monthly calendar spread, a monthly goal breakdown, and then kind of like an overview or a summarized page for your monthly, weekly, and daily goal actions and tracking, right? So this planner is much more focused on thinking about our goals in a monthly way. Although there is some space in these items here to think about on a smaller of a bite, so to speak. And then after this, you get a month in review. So Powersheets, really much more of a monthly focus. The Makselife, on the other hand, really takes a weekly approach to goal planning. After each tab, you get the 2-page spread. You get your goals for the month. And then you have, let's see, what is this? Is this a monthly or a weekly reflection? Yes, this is a weekly reflection, weekly actions for each of your goals, weekly planning with some habit tracking for each day of the week. And then after that week, you get another reflection, and so on and so forth. You don't have any of this weekly action planning, any of these weekly intentions, any of this weekly reflection. You don't have any of this in the Powersheets. The Powersheets is more of a monthly focus. And so this is a major reason why this book is so much bigger than the Powersheets. And you do also get a monthly reflection with Makselife as well. Oh, another thing that I want to add to, which I think is really awesome, is that in your reflections, you get a coaching tip, journal prompt, and affirmation. And I believe those change each week, which I think is super cool. And there's a lot of hard work put into putting together something like that. And so that is probably one of the biggest differences between these two books. The more of a monthly overview, while this is really an intensive week by week setting intentions and action planning for your goals. In a lot of ways, I've been kind of saying that Powersheets feels like for someone maybe further along in their life. But I will say that in a lot of ways, I find that Makselife feels like beginners can really tackle this kind of system. But on the flip side of that argument, all of those weekly pages and weekly planning and weekly intentions also feels like something for a more advanced goal planner and not necessarily something that'll fit well for a rookie when it comes to planning. But again, all of my opinion. All right, let's jump into the last category I have here, and that's accessories. Powersheets and Cultivate What Matters accessories are pretty colorful. They have a very wide variety of products, and they have a very motivational orientation to them. The Makselife accessories are functional, they're goal-oriented. That quarterly toolkit that I was talking about, the annual goal toolkits that they have, a lot of these accessories that you can purchase with your with your Makselife system have a functional purpose to them, which I actually very much appreciate. The Makselife system comes with a set of amazing color-coordinated highlighters and dot markers, which I think is so cool. I love that with Makselife, I don't have to worry too much about stickers, and I do really like color coordination. And so I love that that's just a product that I can pick up with the Makselife system, which I did. In this spreadsheet that I showed you, these are the markers in the Makselife system. And these are mild liners that I kind of just matched up based on what it looked like from the planner. And I kind of just took a guess. But I love that the Makselife system comes with designated color coordinated markers for each of their categories. I think that's a really, really cool plus. Each of the planners comes with a pocket folder. Let me kind of show you those as we go. Oh, actually, some in the front. Powersheets has a pocket folder, a ruler, a word of the year card, and a sticker sheet. Makselife also comes with a ruler, a 2-pocket folder, and a sticker sheet. It does not come with a planner of the, word of the year card, but there is a page in the prep work to write down your word of the year. And those are the things included with the 2 planners. This is just a clip I have there to easily have shown you what it comes with. All right, and for accessories, I'm gonna give the win to... And you know what? I didn't talk about the planning win. And let me just talk through this accessories win, and then I'll save the best for last. For accessories, Makselife takes the win for me here. I just think that having those markers and having so many functional, goal-oriented accessories is just awesome. And for me, again, as a functional girly, minimal girly, I love that kind of options with accessories. But if you love color, if you love florals, if you like pretty stickers, then maybe Powersheets might be a better choice for its accessories. So the last category that I haven't decided on a winner for is probably in the planning. This is really hard because they're very different. This has the monthly tending list. This has a very intensive week by week format. Because I haven't used Makselife, it's hard for me to also pick a winner here because I kind of feel like I need to use it to see how it works for me. So I'm going to call a tie here until I actually use this planner. After that, I'll be able to call a winner because I think this is going to be very much a preference thing. I can see myself I'm going to be using both of these in conjunction with one another. I'm going to do a lot of that monthly. I'm going to do a lot of that quarterly assessing. I'm going to do a lot of that reflection in here, and that day in and day out, week in and week out work that's involved with goal setting is happening in here. And so I think that both in combination will be great, but I know that that's not always like a reasonable thing, or it just might be too much for some folks. So hopefully going through all of those categories can help you decide on which one of these planners might be better for you for setting goals for 2025. I'd love to know what you think in the comments. Which of these are you using? Do you have a preference? What did you think about some of the categories? Was there something I'd missed? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this versus battle between the Cultivate What Matter Powersheets and the Makselife Flagship Goal Planner. Oh, and quick disclaimer, I have the horizontal weekly if you are wondering. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've stuck all the way to the end, I very much appreciate your time and attention. Thank you so much, y'all. I will see you guys in the next one. Happy planning!